Hi student, today we are going to discuss about the topic is algae classifications. Already we have learned what is algae. Algae to present in moist regions. Algae are classified into three types like chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae and rhodophyceae. Let us going to discuss chlorophyceae, one of the green algae. Mostly chlorophyll content chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Like some other example for chlorophyceae, volvox, chlamydomonas, and Eurothrix. Then phaeophyceae, we call it as brown algae. Presence of chlorophyll content chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C. What are the example for in phaeophyceae? Laminaria, sargassum and macrocystis. And then rhodophyceae, we call it as red algae. What are the chlorophyll content? Chlorophyll A and chlorophyll D. Some example for in rhodophyceae, gracilaria, and gelidium. Next slide. In chlorophyceae, we know that chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B content. Most green algae live in freshwater as well as some marine habitats, mostly in moist surfaces. Many of the green algae unicellular. Unicellular, there are some examples like chlorella and chlamydomonas. In chlorella, non-motile unicellular organisms as well as in chlamydomonas, motile unicellular organisms. Like colonial. Colonial means group of formations, especially in volvox. This is the colonial formations. And then filamentous. Filament means leafy-like structures like Spirogyra and then Eurothrix. These are all the filamentous form. Some of the algae in green algae chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B content as well as xanthophyll content. Xanthophyll, one of the yellow in color. That is xanthophyll content. In chloroplast, maybe different shape of in plants like discoid and plate-like. These are all the higher plants as well as some algae. Then reticulate. Reticulate to found in Oudogonium. Spiral or ribbon shaped, especially Spirogyra. These are all the chloroplast shapes, that is cup shaped. In cup shaped chloroplast like chlamydomonas. Discoid and C shaped, ribbon shaped, reticulate shaped, spiral shaped. Spiral shaped Spirogyra reticulate shaped oedogonium, and ribbed shaped ulothrix, and sheath shaped and volvox. These are all the different shape of the chloroplast. Next one, in chlorophyce, in chlamydomonas, cup shaped, like this is the cup like structures in chloroplast, that is cup shaped in structures. Then most stored in pyrenoids. In pyrenoids, this is the pyrenoid content. This pyrenoid to store the starch substances. In starch, one of the stored content, especially in chlamydomonas. In chlamydomonas, unicellular organisms, motile organisms. Okay. Then as well as to store the oil droplets. The oil droplets also to store in chlamydomonas. Generally, in green algae, cell wall is made up of cellulose. In outer layer made up of pectose, and inner layer made up of cellulose. Okay. Then store the substances for starch content. Next one, in chlorophyce, different types of reproductions to occur, like vegetative, asexual and sexual reproductions. In vegetative reproductions, fragmentations. Fragmentation means segmentations to occur, like Spirogyra, many segments. Then as well as in asexual reproductions, zoospore formation. Zoospore means they transfer one place to another. Then another one, sexual reproductions, isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous. Iso means morphologically similar in gametes. Aniso means morphologically dissimilar in gametes, and oogamous means egg formations. Okay. In fragmentation, vegetative reproductions mostly to occur, Spirogyra. In Spirogyra, to divide it into, this is the Spirogyra, to divide it into two daughter cells. Two daughter cells. That is fragmentations. And then zoospore formation for asexual reproduction. Asexual means absence of sexual reproductions, only to produce a spore. That spore is zoosporangia. Mostly to present in asexual reproductions, chlamydomonas. This is the spore formation, zoospore, to transfer the many place. That is zoospore formations. Okay. As well as in sexual reproductions, sexual reproduction means fusions of two gametes, plus gametes and minus gametes. The two gametes to fuse together, that is zygote in nature. The zygote develop into the zygospore. Zygospore, entire formation of new gametes, that is sexual reproductions. Isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous. Iso means morphologically similar. And aniso means dissimilar in size. Dissimilar in size. And oogamous means egg formations. Okay, these are all the chlorophyce reproductions. Next one, phaeophyce. We know that brown algae, generally marine habits, mostly seashore area to present brown algae, especially laminaria and macrocystis. Largest algae we call it as kelp or seaweeds. Kelp or seaweeds. This is one of the largest algae to found in phaeophyce. In phaeophyce, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C and carotenoids. Carotenoid means that is a red color pigments are occur. Xanthophyll, we know that yellow in color, that is some brown algae, pale red color or and brown in nature. As well as to store the in phaeophysi, we call it as mannitol or laminarian starch. These are all the polysaccharides, laminarian starch as well as mannitol to store the food content, one of the polysaccharides. In phaeophysi, cell wall is made up of cellulose. In outer layer of cell wall content, that is algin. Algins, we can use the many cosmetics, that is alginic substances to use in many cosmetic areas, cosmetic medical regions. Okay. Then as well as in protoplast contain plastids, central vacuoles and a nucleus. We know that plastids, one of the photosynthetic pigments. Central vacuoles means to store the food content, and nucleus to center axis to divide into many number of plants. In plant body, in plant bodies there are different plant structures like hold fast, one of the substratum to attach to the ground, that is a substratum, hold fast, we call it as hold fast. Next one, stripe is one of the stalk like structures. This is the stalk like structures, we call it as stripe, and leafy appendages we call it as frond. These are all the parts to found in phaeophysi, like hold fast, substratum, and stripes, stalk in like structures, as well as in frond, leafy structures. That frond they can prepare the food content. In phaeophysi, different reproductions to occur, like vegetative reproductions, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Vegetative means that is fragmentations, asexual juice spore formations, and sexual means isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous. These are all the reproductions same like chlorophysi. In vegetative, fragmentations, that is segmentations to occur, segmentations. Asexual means juice spore formations. In this asexual reproductions appear in shapes then to unequal. This is the asexual reproductions. This is unequal in shapes, unequal in shape diploid spores. The spores are produced, that is sporangiums, are diploid nature, unequal in size to grow the new sporospores. And sexual reproductions, isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous. That is a unilocular form, sexual reproductions, and meiosis. 4 cells are developed. After that mitotic divisions, number of cells to release the 2 gametes, that is that gametes unequal flagella to fuse the gametes. After that zygote formations, new sporophyte to develop. These are all the process to found in phaeophysi. Some example for ectocarpus, dictyota, laminaria, sargassum and fucus. In the laminaria, the type of phaeophysi, large kelp, that is kelp or seaweeds. Next one. In rhodophysi, we know that red algae to presence of R phycoerythrines. What is mean by R? R means phycobilins. Phycobilin rich content. That's why that algae high rich content of red pigments. We call it as R phycoerythrin pigments to presence, as well as chlorophyll A and chlorophyll D presence. Okay. The red algae mostly multicellular compared to in chlorophysi unicellular, especially chlorella and chlamydomonas. In red algae, all red algae multicellular. To store the food content, Floridan starch. This is one of the polysaccharide content that is similar to amylopectin glycogen structures to store the food content. The red algae like Gracilaria, Gelidium, we can use the jellies and ice creams, and Porphyra, Polysyphonia. Then Bactrospermum. This Bactrospermum, one of the freshwater algae. This is important questions. What about the freshwater algae? Bactrospermum, but all algae marine habits. Finally, in reproductions, red algae vegetatively fragmentations to occur, and sexual reproductions to found in oogamous. Oogamous means egg formations. Okay, and non-motile spore formations. Non-motile spores are asexual reproductions, and sexual reproductions found in oogamous. To compare the chlorophyceae, isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous. In rhodophyceae, only to found oogamous. This is the sexual reproductions. The Polysyphonia, meiosis, tetrasporangium. 4 cells are produced, that is tetraspores. The tetraspores, male gametes and female gametes, that is male gametophyte. We call it as spermatangia, and female gametes to sterile cells to fuse the carbospores. The carbospores to develop into the new Polysyphonia. This is the sexual reproductions. The carbospore, we call it as egg formations. The carbospores to develop into the egg. Okay, what are the example for in Phaeophyceae, Polysyphonia, Porphyra, Gracilaria and Gelidium? The Gracilaria, Gelidium, we can use agar-agar, and Bactrospermum, one of the freshwater algae, but another all rhodophytic organisms, all are marine habitats except Bactrospermum, freshwater algae. These are all the rhodophyceae reproductions. Next video we have to discuss about the bryophytes. What is bryophytes? Bryophytes to present in amphibians. We call it as amphibians. Why? Mostly to occur in moist regions in soil, and to depends on the water by using sexual reproductions. We can discuss later. Thank you, student.